more weapon powers fit right in. Let's start. It's simple. Character create.
What's up, Kingman? Welcome out to the stream. What's up, Huntrix? Sorry. Just, welcome out to another one of my dumb, boring streams where I don't actually do anything cool. And instead, I'm just doing a lot of boring work. Late night stream? Yeah. Well, I didn't get to stream earlier in the day because I had to deal... Not deal. I was, doing other stuff. And then... I was doing other stuff. And then this is some other stuff that I really got to get done. So everything's awesome. Great God, Sephiroth. Thanks for that resub. Been there. Yeah. Hey, Red Hat. Thanks for the lurk. Email. Tier 2 resub. Someone say late night editing chill stream. Yeah. It should be hopefully chill. What's up, Cynical? You like watching work when you're also working? Yeah. Thank you, the Giant. I appreciate it. Homesick with pancreatitis? Ugh, that's terrible. I have music on? I don't have music on right now. I actually might be able to put on some light background noise, because I've pretty much already put together a lot of the audio stuff, so I may not need to worry about audio too much. I might be able to put on something there. Oh, yeah, what's up, Vetus? How you doing, dude? What's happening? I've got a freaking deadline that I gotta meet very badly. Plasma build report with 100 bits. Thank you so much. Personal deadline or a client? It's a client deadline actually. This is a I got a extremely lucrative brand deal attached to a video, but they came at me like super last minute, which is also probably why they offered a lot of money for it. And it's one of those things where it's like, this is too much money to say no to. So I kind of had to kind of forced myself to kind of put a video out to get it out there.
Sweet.
Pushing Robot, thanks for that Twitch Prime. Oh, it's 1 year, Robot. Awesome, enjoy your 1 year sub. And Twizzle Sticks also subbed, thank you. Oh no, deadlines. If there's any way to select a fun on something, yeah. Mace's Spade also resub it. Hey! Hype Train. It does not raid Shadow Legends. What was kind of frustrating about it is that they originally came to me and said, hey, we have this brand deal. Can you get this done by Thursday the 15th? And I was like, oh yeah, I can do that. And then when they sent me the contract, what they actually meant was Thursday the 15th is the final draft deadline. The first draft deadline is tomorrow. So,
Sweet.
guess I'm doing that. That's all good. If I stream for approximately 10 hours, I'm hoping I can raid Digital Gaming if they stream. Hopefully I don't need to stream that long. That would kill me. VG Zaref with Twitch Prime. Bostronio, thank you guys so much. Just got through watching the Peep stream. That's fun. I saw you was playing Five Nights at Freddy's. That's hilarious. Pain and suffering time. This shouldn't be too bad. The video itself, it's not super long. And the topic of the video is just I'm talking about, because I've played a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 early access. And now it's just what changes or tweaks would I like to see Baldur's Gate 3. I'm going to put on some super light background noise. Emphasis on super light. Thanks, Case here. I appreciate it. Octokaiser, thanks for the resub. Silver shirt! Never get to watch your stream live because of time compression. Any plan for a full depth review of it? Well, it's not done yet. Like, Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't leave early access until like next year. So I'm not gonna like do that anytime soon.
Simple. Character creation. Obviously right now, with early access, there's only so many options available for customizing your character.
Hopefully my footage cooperates with me. This might be one of those situations where I need to capture specialized footage for it. I need to just zoom in a bit there just to try to show different options. Mrs. Dynamonster with a resub, thank you so much.
Sweet.
Also, Blitz Trooper, thank you. It's Crackalack. What's up, Madam Clutch? Just working. Figure you guys can hang out if you wanted to. If I consider opening up a Patreon, I actually have Patreon, but I don't really use it because I don't. The thing is with Patreon, there's kind of a stipulation that comes with that, where it's whoever. There's this expectation that if you have a Patreon, whoever is your patron should get some kind of benefit or bonus for doing that stuff. Extra videos, behind the scenes stuff, early access, or something on top of that. I don't want to do that. I cannot offer more of myself. Like, even though like having patrons and all that would be awesome and super cool, but like I already feel so. I feel so stretched thin as it is. Like, doing more on top of that is just too much.
For example, there's only a few voices and a handful of different pre-made faces to choose from. And that's my gripe, they're pre-made faces. I would love to see...
How much character creation sliders do I have?
Boss.
But it's recorded like every time I streamed the game and or played it on my own. You love the Phasmophobia stream with Ray Ray? Any plans for future collabs with her? Well, there's going to be a second Phasmophobia episode with Ray Ray coming out. So, there's more of that. Welt for 20, thanks for the resub.
Would love to see some options to adjust the features of all the faces. I don't need full-on face creation like other games, but maybe some sliders that adjust things like nose, eyes, mouth, ears, or a separate option to pick a face and then choose different eyebrows or eye shape or whatever. It's just...
Yeah, like, Ray Ray is so pleasant. She's like one of my favorite people. And being able to collab with her was, it was a treat. And I feel like it was just like a small way I could have just kind of thanked her for all of her kindness and support. Baker Does, thanks for the $5. I appreciate that. Have I finished the first chapter of Baldur's Gate 3 yet? No. We're exploring it pretty thoroughly. We just got to the Underdark and had my head stomped in by a Minotaur. It was great. Will I ever continue the tactics playthrough? Not the 1.3 hard mode playthrough, no. I would foresee myself doing some other tactics playthrough in the future of some kind, for sure. But not the hard mode. How did we get to be so styling like yourself? Your Instagram's a catalog of the fashion world should take notice of. I'll give you one point of advice to start with, nerd for all seasons. Dress with purpose. Like you can dress to coordinate your clothes, to look good, to have a certain vibe or look to you. And that alone goes about most dudes say, well, I'm going outside today. I guess I have to cover my naked body. And they're just like covering themselves for function rather than purpose.
Small way to make sure that you don't...
Sweet.
There's a part where might be around
Sweet.
here.
I think what the thing terrible and got killed by an attack of opportunity.
Is there,
Big ol' tackle, ew.
Oh my god. Is there anything nearby in wreckage?
I found a dude who had a small bot.
So are we back in the Forgotten
Red Mage Dragon Kitty and Ale6, thank you
I
so
think we're right
much.
outside.
Love Pro Jared Plays, but it's hard to keep up sometimes. Well, I mean, that's a good problem to have, but never feel obligated to have to watch everything, especially when it comes to long series like Daggerfall or Magic. Like, you feel like if you miss one episode, then it's like, ugh, I'll never catch up. What's the point? And that's one of the reasons I try to do like little one-offs in between. I've been trying to do a lot more digestible videos and less just like long invested series, because truth of the matter is long invested series, unless it has like a very highly sustained audience, like Magic the Gathering did pretty well, Daggerfall's doing pretty well too. Without that, like, the interest drops off so hard and actually hurts the channel pretty considerably. And I'm trying to avoid that. And like right now, Daggerfall is dwindling pretty hard. That I need to rethink my approach to that.
It's a small way to make sure that you don't.
Sweet.
That's Bolshevik. Thank you so much. I'm loving Daggerfall personally. Well, thank you. I'm having fun with it too.
Should we keep walking?
But it's also,
Fisherman had a real bad day.
but it's also like one of those games where it's like, I don't know if I want to
Clamshell? Is there anything in the clamshell?
play. I don't know if I want to play through all of actual Daggerfall because it's a very long game.
Do you guys mind if we leave our squid here? Is that going to be a problem? Is it going to be a problem if we park our squid here? I'm real sorry.
There's a part where I point out that we have the same voice.
Bait with the clam, Jared.
Oh. I don't care.
Do I not do that anytime soon? Maybe up here, maybe not. Oh, maybe here?
That looks like a crumble. I think we should go into the ship.
Okay.
You want to go back into the
Oh.
ship? Waypoint discovered.
Yeah, there's clearly a lady who's like trying to get in that door there. That looks
Yeah.
like progress.
This cave here allows us to go back to the ship.
Oh, well, where does the other way go to then?
Oh, I've seen this cutscene in previews. Good job. Shadow.
Dang it, that's not giving me what I wanted. Octokaiser, thanks for the $10. Ooh, treasure. Thank you. Curious if I've backed any Kickstarters recently. Currently backing the ToeJam and Earl cookbook and Nippon Marathon 2. Did not know ToeJam and Earl gained the cookbook. Last one I backed was Ayuden Chronicles. The Suikoden 2 spiritual successor. It looked great. So I've just backed that one. Outside of that, though, I've had such bad luck with Kickstarters that I've kind of been doing that less and less. Oh, God. What a douchey face.
Sweet.
Nightwing Bell, thanks for Twitch Prime. Been joining me for all these wonderful years. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
It's a small way to make sure that you don't look the same as every other NPC in the world, and to make sure that when you play with friends, you don't create someone who both looks and sounds. When you play with friends, you don't.
No map. Map cuts through my talking point. Don't want that. Don't have a real good option for this one. I didn't re-record character creation, I don't think. No, I didn't. Drizzle6, gifting a sub to Kujin. Yeah, sorry if I'm sometimes not always looking at the chat. I should go to Zulu's Board Game Cafe. I used to go to Zulu's all the time, Casper. That place is awesome. I used to live right next to it. That would be my Magic, FNM, and pre-release place to go.
Okay,
I've since
so
moved a bit further away, so it's I don't I haven't really been there as much. Do I watch Internet Comment Etiquette? I do. That guy's amazing.
You don't create someone who both looks and sounds exactly the same. Besides, right now, you don't create someone who both looks and sounds exactly the same. Besides, right now, literally every
Let me go back and get that making camp clip, 'cause that's perfect for just how douchey you look. How's the Final Fantasy VIII review looking so far? Gonna be honest, I haven't really touched it a whole lot. Not really something I want to do. And if I don't want to do it, I don't want to force myself to, because I'm going to make something coming out that is below my standards and basically tainted by my like resentment for it. At the same time, though, I'm like obligated to, right? Like, I have to talk about Final Fantasy at some point, because one, that let me talk about Final Fantasy 9, but also there's I have that expectation on me now, you know?
Every single face is too perfectly chiseled. Them cheekbones and jawlines are too flawless. I'm trying to look like an adventurer, not a chat adventurer. Adventurer. Every single face is too perfectly chiseled. Them cheekbones and jawlines are too flawless. I'm trying to look like an adventurer, not a chat adventurer.
Trying to cut around that fade to black as much as I can. Chat venture is my new favorite word. Yeah, so again, if you're just joining us, the topic of this video is things I would like to see tweaked, changed, and or implemented into Baldur's Gate 3. It's not really like a top 10 video or anything like that. It's kind of the same vein of like the Mario 35 tips video it just is. Like, here's 10 things just to talk about it. And people love lists. If you say 10 things, for whatever reason, people like clicking that more than anything else. Why did my music die, by the way? It wasn't supposed to do that. Hello? There it goes. Now it's back. Sweet, sweet lists. I think it's because like it's a full thing of quote-unquote content there, but then people just gotta pick and choose which ones they want out of that, and it allows them to get through it even faster. What's up, David? You saw me at Zula's Board Game Cafe once for a pre-release? Yeah, it must have been a while ago. I haven't been there in some time. That's cool. I hope I was cool.
Number 2.
I don't know if I'm actually going to be using this voiceover, but I just kind of have it there as placeholder just in case.
Here's a big one. Every character
Darth Fabulous also resubmitting Katrina Face. You know, happy birthday, Katrina.
Here's a big one. Every character has a huge list of actions that they can take
Alright, this is easy. Now I can just start showing some combat shit. I can basically pull from anything for that. I'm working on a 30-day prompt fill, and one of those things I wrote was awful. Yo, I mean, I've thought about that too. The people who do stuff like Inktober or the November NaNoWriMo, I'm just like, dang, like, how do you guys do it? Like, to me, that's like insane. Because I'm just like, that's so much. And like that kind of like pressure / obligation to like get that stuff done. It's like, dang, I don't know. I couldn't do that. This Harpy fight was awesome.
Oh no, there's an
Here's a big one. Every character. Here's a big one. Every character has a huge list of actions that they can take every turn in combat. Weapon attacks, spell. Weapon attacks, spell.
Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Oh shit, where do you fight harpies? Just outside the druid camp. You can fight them. Would I recommend Baldur's Gate 3? Depends. How much did you like Divinity Original Sin 2, and how much do you like slow, turn-based tactical RPGs? Because if you liked either one of those, yes, absolutely.
Sweet.
He just slapped you.
These guys with bows probably just have bows.
Weapon attacks, spells, bonus actions like dashing, shoving, and drinking a potion. But there were numerous times where I found myself in situations in which I couldn't reasonably do anything. I couldn't.
Not sure if I got a great example for that to show. Probably just to show some more general versus. Oh, maybe versus the face spiders. Oh, this webbing here will actually be helpful for a bit later. You love Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2? I mean, I did as well, but those games are... The gameplay is antiquated quite a bit, and these games play very differently compared to that. But again, like, I'm fine with that. I'll have Strix throw a firebolt at the spider. Yeah, perfect. Plop.
Anything. I couldn't run up and reach anyone to attack, I couldn't reliably land a spell, and not a single potion provided a benefit that would help me at that time. So what else could I do but time? So what...
If I could just show myself ending turn, that'd be awesome here. Let's see if I can find a good opportunity for that, though. Maybe around here. I can show myself dashing around, just clicking end turn. Yeah, I like that.
What else could I do but click end turn? And not a single potion provided a benefit that would help me at that time. So what else could I do but click and turn and have zero impact?
That works. Zooming down on that end turn button.
But click and turn and have zero impact. That sucks. That never...
I'm pretty pumped for this after finishing Divinity Original Sin 2. Oh yeah, if you love Divinity Original Sin 2, you'll love Baldur's Gate 3. It's just Divinity Original Sin 2, but with like the D&D rule set and like that kind of setting.
Sweet.
Outriders 0. Do I plan on playing Cyberpunk 2077 when it comes out? I'll probably play it, yeah. I'm not like fucking rock hard Boner City over it like a lot of other people are for a lot of CD Projekt Red games. I never finished Witcher 3. I just got bored.
Sweet.
Hey Luke, thanks for the Twitch Prime. Sorry I'm not doing anything like more interesting right now.
Is it ahead?
I don't know.
I could have talked to his speaker.
This frog, dude.
Addled frog.
That sucks. That never feels good. And then I end up getting shot or a minotaur lands on my...
Ooh.
Good. And then I end up...
I'll use that right there. Did I ever get around to playing Generations Ultimate? Oh yeah, of course. I want to show the Minotaur stomping on my head because that was funny.
Sweet.
Cyrus Cross, thanks for this Twitch Prime.
Says target is too close.
Which part am I dead?
I still have a bonus action left.
Oh, I think right here.
I'm laying on the ground.
No, saving throw!
Nice save.
Like, only got your 3.
That one's okay, but I definitely have a clip later where someone actually gets stomped on by a Minotaur. Oh, here.
Unlimited power! Fuck. That sucks. That never feels good. And then I end up getting shot or a minotaur lands on my friggin' head. With Baldur's Gate 3 feels good. That sucks. That never feels good. And then I end up getting shot or a minotaur lands on my friggin' head. With Baldur's Gate 3
Yeah, that's quite a breath there. Took that all out.
lands on my friggin' head. With Baldur's Gate 3 being such a fantastic recreation...
Do I like that more? Or...
Dodge.
Nah, that one's just funnier. Just a knockdown.
Minotaur lands on my friggin' head. With zero impact. That sucks. That never feels good. And then I end up getting shot or a minotaur lands on my friggin' head. With That sucks. That never feels good. And then I end up getting shot or a Minotaur lands on my friggin' head. With Baldur's Gate 3 being...
So this is in this whole area, I'm actually talking about how I think one of the attack actions Baldur's Gate 3 should have is the dodge action. It's like standard in tabletop D&D. I don't see why this can't have it as well. Yeah, none of those. This is a long footage clip, that's why Premiere's kind of struggling with it. This is a cool fight, though. Like right here. The UI looks so similar to Divinity Original Sin. Oh yeah, absolutely. There are all kinds of similarities. My video should be decent feedback for Larian. I hope so. I mean, like, all the things I'm offering are things that they should be able to implement, because I didn't want to... One of the things I'm trying to not throw at them is, like, I just want to say stuff that's like, oh, you should put in this race, or you should put in this class, or what if you put in these spells from the expanded books? It's like, well, no, you're asking to, like, add in content and things that, like, goes beyond, like, the original scope. Like, they already know what they're going to put into it. Like, that's already set in stone. Like, stuff like, change the music! Like, that's... You can't really do that. But I can say, like, hey, a dodge action would be cool. Or, like, ooh, expand on this concept. Or, fix the inventory. Stuff like that. Garrett Mustang gifting a sub to Mindless Zombie. Thank you, guys.
Baldur's Gate 3 being such a fantastic recreation of 5th edition rules, there's no reason that the option to dodge is missing. In the tabletop version of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, this makes all attack rolls against you have disadvantage, and all of your dexterity saving throws have advantage until your next turn. This translates so...
Probably have a... Do a little pop in there of the actual rules for that from a PDF or something. Gutless Owl also coming to Twitch Prime, thank you. What about inventory do you recommend changing? Just a sort button. But being able to sort your inventory, but also being able to sort your chest box. There is a sort? I looked for the sort and I still couldn't find it.
So I can try to go for a sneak attack, which is 2d6, which is not enough to kill it, but it might get it low enough that you can finish.
Go for it.
A
Or
crit.
murder the shit out of him.
A crit.
It's a drop down menu at the top of the screen. I swear I didn't see it.
This translates so easily to the engine of Baldur's Gate 3 that its omission is surprising, especially when a character is brought down to a lethal level of hit points, and being able to act defensively until a cleric can reach with a cure spell or similar would be huge. Or imagine the wizard or sorcerer class being completely out of spells for the day and can't be huge. Or imagine the wizard
Try to shorten that up a bit.
I legitimately don't think that I can get. Oh, I can't.
Or imagine the wizard or sorcerer class being completely out of spells for the day and can't realistically do anything else. Being able to dodge and not be a liability would be massive. Combat is already unapologetically difficult as it is.
Is this all just the method fight? Oh, and the hag fight. Did anyone else get to the hag fight in Baldur's Gate 3 and have it just not work for them? Yeah, she broke for me. Yeah, when I got to her, she like... We could just like stab the shit out of her, but she didn't do anything else back. Even though she already said she's going to pull my spine out of my ass.
Leave the same market points.
Down to 5. Oh, all 4s?
Yeah, the exact issue? Okay. I mean, we also even like reloaded and tried to fight again and still didn't get better.
Combat is already unapologetically difficult as it is, which I love, and having a defensive choice like this can help ease that for a lot of players. Plus, in the tabletop rules, a character can't dodge.
Okay, I wanted to show the spider fight where I get stuck. Where was that? My number 3. Rose the Vixen with $5. Thank you so much. I've been your biggest fan for the longest time. I was wondering if you could blow me a kiss on your webcam. All right. You can also spend your chat GP to simp. Is this spider area? Down the well? Yeah. I'll show myself running across this and getting stuck.
Yeah,
Right now.
that's fine.
Ow,
There's a
snack.
web.
Fuck.
Simp.
Dodge if their speed ever drops to 0. So stuff like getting... Can't dodge if their speed ever drops to 0. So stuff like getting ensnared, webbed, or tangled works perfect for the environment-heavy gameplay that Larian Studios does so well. Add in the
Gotta pause in there.
Add in the dodge action.
Perfect. Whatever that noise is in the background, you really like it? My space heater or the music very gently playing? Is this the spooky birthday stream goal? No, this isn't the spooky one. Alright, that's 2 of 10 done.
Number 3, multiplayer dialogue. Like I said...
Garrett Mustang also resubbing? Was deployed for 7 months? Dang, well, welcome back, dude. Glad you're okay and safe. Yeah, it's just the space heater. Like if I turn it off, now there's nothing. But I don't want to be cold, so we finally hit that point of the year where it's so cold I need to have a space heater going and cause just a bunch of constant white noise. Which means when I'm recording gameplay stuff, I have to have it turned off and only turn it on in between sessions and just freeze during the actual gameplay. It's onesie season. I don't have any onesies. Don't I have like a SM7B? I do. Well, I don't have a noise gate set up at all. I even have like, yeah, like I even have like the low cut filter on. But I feel like this just picks up a lot of background noise for some reason. I really don't know why.
Number 3, multiplayer dialogue. Like I said, I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 almost entirely in multiplayer. I've loved every second of it, especially when it comes to our different characters, using their different abilities to solve puzzles or explore, and to see how different characters using
Man, if you want to talk about like frustrating audio issues, I just got in. This was expensive. I just got in a new lavalier mic because I was so unhappy with my old one. This is a Sony UWD UWPD, and it's a very fancy microphone. It's supposed to work super well, but for whatever reason, I just can't get it to work with my mixer board and not just have the noise from the gain on top of it. And I don't understand why. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't need like more phantom power or cloud lifter or anything like that for a lavalier mic, and it just doesn't. And one of the things that's really setting me back from making videos is like I don't have a good lavalier mic that doesn't sound like shit right now. So I really can't go on camera and talk and not have it sound like ass. And I don't know why that is. And I've tried so many different things and so many different solutions that it's like so bad that like I practically just like crumple up and give up in frustration and then cry. BBCC, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime resub. 3 months. Would you recommend playing Baldur's Gate 3 without ever having played the previous before? If you like tactical RPGs or Divinity Original Sin 2, yes. I guess talking to Shadowheart. There you go.
using their different abilities to solve puzzles or explore, and to see how differently we all handle combat situations. But if there's one thing that irks me and my friends, is that conversation feels singular focused. Whoever's
Daddy Steel also resubbing. Matthew Keefe on Twitch, Kichi Chaos on YouTube has several videos covering signal chain set that might help me out. He lives in a 1950s home, so electrical wiring is very noisy. That very well could be the thing that I've got here. Praetor. I'm gonna write that down. Kichi Chaos. I don't know. I don't think it's a weird signal issue or interference. It's possible, but I don't think it. I think it's just whatever reason, just the microphone, the mic itself isn't being loud enough when being picked up by Audition or through the mixing board. And if I crank all the volume options up to the max, then all it is just like that white background noise from the gain being jacked up, overpowering the speech. I don't know what causes that. And I tried having it go through a cloud lifter, and I don't think that worked. I might need to double check. I might need to like mess around with that more because I might have just like been checked through it myself. What camera did I use? I use a Canon X825. He's a professional musician who streams guitar stuff. What about getting an audio interface? I have an audio interface. I have a Xenix Q802. Like, that's what this is going into. This is going into an interface already. And, like, that should be enough to handle it because this actually has more options in there than the Scarlett should. And I don't know why it's different. Unpowered microphone is for music instruments. Well, the thing is, Nightshade, like, this is also a lavalier mic. Like, this is the mic being powered by battery. It's not going into it's not like the Shure Shure needs phantom power, and I do have this into a cloud lifter to help it. Was it connected to? Just its receiver going into the mixer board. It shouldn't need, like, if it goes, it can go to a Scarlett, no problem. It shouldn't need phantom power going into a Xenix Q802, right? I don't believe it would, unless I'm super wrong. And I actually bought a Scarlett a long time ago while looking for a mixer for this that I wasn't happy with until I settled on the Xenix. And then I like didn't know what else to do with the Scarlett, so I was like, I'll never need this, and I just threw it away, and I already regret that. Not that I had like a separate out that would work with my XLR, whatever.
Friends, is that conversations feel singular focused. Whoever starts the
Yeah, it's a whole lot of murdering going on. The Scarlett has a 38 volt power thing too. Yeah, I don't know what to do. The only thing I could think of, Nightshader, is maybe trying to have it run through the cloud lifter. Like, just take it out of the Shure for a second and just test it to see if it sounds better at all. I was trying to experiment that with last night when I was trying to see if the microphone was working at all. And it didn't feel very successful.
Whoever starts the conversation gets full control over what gets said and what responses are used, which is fine. I get that. But it makes every other player who joins in later just kind of stand there. Joins in later just kind of
A little bit of a lip smack there that I don't want. Get rid of that.
kind of stand there or stand there or some stand there or
Just editing? Yeah, just editing.
Sweet.
Quillashes, thanks to Twitch Prime. There's a couple times where someone was talking to someone and people just running in the background. Well, when did I see those? Might need to see if that just shows up later. That's the dog wandering in the background. Dang, I had such a good one for that. Where was it? Maybe I'm talking to the goblin lady? Maybe not. I don't think it was when I was talking to Volo. God, who was it? Oh. There's Todoran in the background.
Those people be. How are you hanging out with goblins? Okay.
stand there or sometimes wander around in the background.
Ugh, I hate that the camera cuts right as I get what I want.
Or sometimes wander around in the background. Or sometimes wander around.
Alright, game. I'll have to work with it. Basically, as soon as it cuts to this, I'll also have to also zoom in. It'll make that cut less jarring.
Or sometimes wander around in the background. An amazing...
What are my machine specs? Good? Generally? I don't know. What do you want from me? High? I thought I had that in the fact down below. It should be up to date.
option would be to randomly vote as to what is said and
PC, CPU, GPU. Well, GPU right now is just the GTX, what was it, 1080 Ti? 64 gigabytes RAM. Intel was like i9 Extreme something. I forget exactly what. It's been a while.
Sweet.
Fine, they're group conversation somewhere in here. Takarashi, thanks for the resub. Do you have the Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance games? I have both on PS2, yeah. I don't really like the Dark Alliance games, though. Does my laptop have integrated graphics? Talking to me? I'm not using a laptop. Oh, that would have been cool, Octokaiser. This is a really pretty part of the game, by the way. If you meet the Tiefling Bard,
She's got a sweet face tattoo.
like I thought this whole part was
Oh, I
actually
see
really
up
pretty.
This little thing.
I'm not even looking at her. Just looking
Sorry,
off
baby.
in the distance.
It's all right.
Way to be a nice guy, Austin.
Yeah, sure to help her finish that song.
Where is she at? She's back at the Druid Grove.
An amazing option would be to randomly vote as to what is said and who says it, with it randomly being chosen by a player member.
That's the Harpy fight.
If it'll allow me to.
Here we go.
Especially when there's a situation where a certain character's skills would be more relevant, like letting a wizard player use their arcana check instead of me being forced to make a neutral decision. A good example of a game that does this so well is Star Wars The Old Republic MMO. It uses a die roll to determine who gets example of a game.
Might actually show some Star Wars footage here for that. So I'm just gonna change this label to kind of remind myself later
that
to
does this
look at this.
a who in a group conversation. Something similar could be implemented.
What's up, Limbolo? Welcome out to the stream. Bow, bow, bow.
Fatten that girl up.
This is a good shot. Look at that. That's a good looking party.
Something similar could be implemented here, or even allowing players to choose to default to another party member and letting them take the lead. This could go a long way to making group conversations feel more like a full party discussing it instead of the others witnessing someone else's choices and the rest having to live with it. If dialogue responses are fully voiced and having to live with it.
Have I heard of Felseal Arbiter's Mark? I have heard of that. A lot of people have brought it up with me. I have not played it. Is this footage from my live streams? Some of it is. Some of it I played offline with my friends. Oh, talking to the good boy.
If dialogue responses are fully voiced and not just text, conversation would become much more lively. Basically, the same kind of party banter that comes from playing with NPCs in single player would be awesome in multiplayer.
You know, buy a little more time to Asterion here. There we go.
Number 4, see the dice rolls. Well, related to that,
Think I'll ever play Among Us? I got to play Among Us once, like a couple of weeks ago. I got to play with Ray Ray, which is awesome, and some of her friends. I wasn't streaming, but she was. It was cool. I would happily do it again.
nothing is more boring than watching another player.
All right, where was that? The die roll I just was looking at in the middle of a conversation. I mean, I could think of some. Maybe not in here. There's some. That works.
Well, related to that, nothing is more boring than watching another player make an important skill check in a conversation and not have anyone else see the die roll.
Actually, start that there.
Well, related.
Oops. I saw that frame. Can't fool me.
Well, related to that, nothing is more boring than watching another player make an important skill check in a conversation and not have anyone else see the die roll.
God, it takes me a hot minute to click that. Jesus, past Jared.
Well, related to that, nothing is more boring than watching another player make an important skill check in a conversation and not have anyone else see the die roll.
Still too long. Ugh.
Well, related to that, nothing is more boring than watching another player make an important skill check in a conversation and not have anyone else see the die roll. In general, I love to see the D20 rolls and the results shown more often. The big
So considering I have no D&D experience, the last Baldur's Gate game I played was the first one for about an hour. I've dived into the deep end. Oh yeah, I'd say so. Oh, stretch. Is there a die roll log for combat so you can see what you roll for each attack? Yes, Morbid Hobo. In the lower right of the game, during combat, there's like a little arrow thing, and that lets you pull up a like right in there. It lets you pull up a recent attacks action log list, and you can mouse over and see what your attack rolls were. I'm new to you in the stream. What is happening? I am editing a YouTube video, Mallard Duck. Also, hey, welcome to the stream.
biggest one is in dialogue and being able to see another player's role.
We just came with us?
Is he a Healy?
The biggest one is in dialogue and being able to see another player's role. It'd be the same excitement as watching them make an important role at the D&D table. When passively walking around, the symbol in the corner lets you know when
All right, that's kind of a specific one, but hopefully I can find a time when that happens. Celeste's demo is pretty neat. Celeste's demo is pretty neat too, yeah. Celeste is definitely going for a more true to 5th edition feel than Baldur's Gate 3. But I'll play both. Oh, maybe actually right here is perfect in the Owlbear Den.
Eats his mom, that's it? That's it, you guys? Baby just eats his mom, huh?
Holly, there's a scroll of detect thought stuff.
Perfect.
When passively walking around, the symbol in the corner lets you know whenever a passive skill check goes off. Just seeing a number on top of that would help. On top of that would help so much.
Ugh, I wish I wasn't moving the camera so much. I might need to.
Seeing a number on top of that would help so much. Feeling.
All right, this is gonna take some doing, chat.
Would
It's me doing some pseudo stabilization, basically.
help so much. Number on top of that would help so much. Feeling a
There we go. Some of the skill checks and save throws aren't interesting to look at. I mean, it's more that the argument that I make is that if I fail something, I need to know how badly I failed it. Especially when playing a rogue and I go to pick the lock of something, it'll just say, did you succeed, yes or no? Rather than letting me know if like how badly I succeeded or failed. Because if I rolled a 19 and I still fail, then I know, well, I shouldn't fuck with this lock. I'm just going to waste lockpicks. It's too difficult. But if I go to lockpick something and I roll a 2, that can be like, well, god damn it, I'll try again. 1 second.
perception roll because I rolled a 4 or something.
We're going to show some perception rolls. There's the explodey stuff in the bog. Or like that bookcase, yeah.
Found an old key.
Oh.
And then there's
I don't like rolling. No, that's too much money at gaming. I agree to a degree, GBA, sir. And that's kind of the balance that they have to find, you know?
Failing a perception roll because I rolled a 4 or something is very, very different than knowing I rolled a perception but still failed with a 17. This would let me know if I should bother trying with anyone else. A good example of this would be a rogue.
Okay, where is the goblin camp? Because I picked a lot of Chesteroonies around there. Like the chest behind the waterfall. Yeah, succeed that one right away. Where's the other one? What's before this? Oh, actually, I want to show this.
Yeah.
He even does the eyebrow like I
Yeah.
do.
Hold on, let me go back and throw this clip into the party dialogue section.
Fault to another party member and letting them take the lead. And not just text. Rest having to live with it. If dialogue responses are fully voice and not just text, conversation would become much more lively. Basically, the same kind of party banter that comes from playing with NPCs in single player would be awesome in multiplayer.
Perfect. All right, back to this. Just had to fit that in there real fast. Once this catches up. Yeah, go behind the waterfall. Immediately succeed at that chest because I'm the best. But then there's other random chest up here. Yeah, there we go. Skyly Mew, 1 year. Thank you, Skyly.
Right here.
A good example of this would be a rogue, aka me, lockpicking. It'll tell me if I succeeded, yes or no. But if I fail, I can't tell if I even have a chance at this lock. If I could see my roll and see that my sleight of hand was only a 2 or an 11, I would keep trying. Or if I saw that I rolled a 19 and still failed, then I could know that's beyond my skill and I shouldn't waste more lockpicks on something I'm not likely to succeed.
There we go. I think all that's fair. Yeah, maybe I could show the battle where, show some dice results. Own Sage resubbing, thank you so much. Yeah, so here I have like the action log open in the lower right of the game so you can actually see all your things.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like right here I'll...
My god. 80%. I rolled a 6.
I appreciate that I can mouse over the action tracker in the lower right. I appreciate that I can mouse over the action tracker in the lower right and see attack rolls and whatnot. So I'd like to see the same thing.
My voice is very unique like Brutal Moose. Ian has a very distinct delivery style. And we all try to do different ways of delivery in general.
As a heads up option. Even in combat, if it says I have a same thing as a heads up option. Even in
I don't want to show too much stream footage with me on cam just to help put things more into like the game proper.
Sweet.
Oh, is this the fight that I was like mostly dead for? Yeah, it is. Hey, Boxwiz. Have I ever done Space D&D? No, I have not. Also, Victoria DeRay, Twitch Prime up to 1 year. Thank you so much, Victoria. Ian seems like the nicest dude. Ian is super nice. He is a self-admitted recluse. So, like, getting him out of the house to come hang out or do anything is almost impossible. But every now and then he goes through like phases of the moon and then he like really wants to hang out. And we all just kind of look forward to those days. Oh, that kind of works. That shows my percentages there.
Josh's game is moving at 2 frames per second.
I'm a bit of a recluse myself. I'm also a bit of a recluse. I have a hard time maintaining social energy.
Even in combat, if it says I have a 55% chance to hit, a little D20 pop up above my head or the target's head to let me know the result can help. I would be less angry if I saw 75% chance to can help.
He just put out Brutal Foods the other day? He did. I was actually very surprised at that. Last time I was talking to him, he was saying like he just doesn't want to do food stuff anymore, but it's also what's like super successful for him. But I guess he was just feeling inspired to do some more Hungry Man. Which I'm glad for. Like, I'm glad, like, he actually hit that inspiration. He's like, oh no, I actually want to do this. And enjoy it instead of forcing himself to, like, play whatever. Or make a video about whatever.
Damn, dude.
Damn it.
Can help. I would be less angry if I saw 75% chance to hit and got the immediate feedback of knowing I rolled low instead of feeling screwed. Like I was playing XCOM.
There we go. He's got the big video in the work. He sure does. It's a ambitious idea, to say the least. Good point. How about the XCOM thing? We feel like you're just missing. Yeah, GC Punk, I think about that sometimes. Like I literally had my 10-year YouTube anniversary last month. And I was like, holy shit, I've been doing just YouTube stuff for 10 years. And it's so bizarre because usually when it comes to TV shows, people are like, ugh, after the 5th or 6th season, it's already bad. But YouTubers just like never stop. You're not allowed to have breaks. You don't like put stuff in seasons where you just get to like have several months off in a row. It's just you need to push something out every freaking week, and you need to do it for the rest of your goddamn life. It's just such a weird thing. But I think the worst is whenever I meet someone at a con or a wherever or something, and it's like a grown adult, and they're like, "Oh my god, I love you." It's like, "Oh, thanks so much." He's like, "Yeah, dude, I've been watching your videos since I was a kid," and then my bones just immediately crumple into dust, and my skin suit just flaps down onto the pavement.
Number 5. Dice result options. On top of seeing dice rolls more often, I commend Larian for making it simple.
Your wife and you say hi from Alaska? Well, hello to both of you. I have a friend who's from Alaska. He was just visiting there. I forgot the name of the town he got to go on, but it's on some island. And it was COVID free, which is crazy. Where the guy drinks in the false grill. Yeah, it's a lot like that. A lot like that. Thoughts on Final Fantasy 15? I don't know. I never finished it because it was boring.
On top of seeing dice rolls more often.
Kodiak? I think it was Kodiak. That sounds right. There was indeed bears.
Out of the mud.
Sugakage? What are my thoughts on Chrono Cross? I don't know. I need to play Chrono Cross again because I remember being really negative about it originally. But Chrono Cross is definitely a game that you like more if you look at it as its own thing in its own package rather than looking at it as a full-on sequel to Chrono Trigger.
On top of seeing dice rolls more often, I commend Larian for making it simple to understand for players. They've streamlined them in such a way that it removes a lot of the math involved for dum-dums who don't want to do any counting. If the
Shoot, I need to show another... You need to show another D20 check somewhere. Where did I get one of those? Oh, when we were talking to the Monster Hunter guy. After the bog. It's way after all this. Yeah, defeat the hag. After the part with this lady, I think. Yeah, we go through back through the house. I know we went back and talked to that guy. I'm pretty sure I recorded it. In fact, I know I did because I just saw that footage. There you go, this guy. If I can get a show a die roll, that is, though.
E12.
You can do it, but don't fuck it up.
Boom! Woohoo! 6.
That one's alright. If I know I do it with... I think I tend to with Strix as well. No, maybe not. Alright, that's fine.
Counting. If the DC is 10 and you have a +3 to succeed, it'll show the D20 and say you need to roll a 7 or a higher. That's great. Or when attacking, it'll let you know the... That's great. Or when...
Ugh, how is the beta? It's definitely... It's not even beta. It's definitely alpha. Like, it's very much in alpha state. But I'm still loving it. Actually, I agree, Mallard Duck. I actually think it'd also be cool. Or, I know John did that for a little bit. Where it was create a bunch of episodes over, like, the spring, summer. And then that way through, like, fall, through, like, the end of the year, during when ad revenue is the highest, that would be, like, the season. And just, like, a new episode would come out every week. But the thing is, YouTube algorithm also hates that. You know? Where if you don't constantly upload, then YouTube thinks you're no longer relevant, and then it just starts removing you from the algorithm, and you get punished for it. So, like, you really can't take breaks, which sucks.
Or when attacking, it'll let you know the
Serious question, get a serious answer. What's my favorite non-D&D tabletop game? Toss up between Battletech and Shadowrun.
So I got a couple actions. I'm just gonna do normal attack though, because we're down to 3.
There you go.
Or when attacking, it'll let you know the % chance to hit. Makes sense to me, but I'm also a very well-versed D&D player. I would...
Have I ever played the Pokemon TCG? Oh yeah, of course. I never really played it super competitively or anything like that. I did mess around with it last year. That was kind of fun. Just got like some boxes of random ass Pokemon cards. Me and my friend made decks and played each other. I don't enjoy the Pokemon TCG nearly as much as like Magic the Gathering, but I have played it. Have a good night, GC Punk. But do you enjoy it as much as Yu-Gi-Oh? I like the Pokemon card game more than Yu-Gi-Oh. How about Runeterra Gwent? Never really played either. No interest in Runeterra. I hear it's cool, but oh, not much for me.
I'd love to see an option where all of
Dude, your plans game with your spiked bat?
I'm behind you.
cunning action dash.
I like this music.
Sneak attack. 13 damage.
Oh God.
Is there a D&D video game that works a lot like the tabletop game that's single player? Baldur's Gate, honestly. About as close as it gets, but like no video game ever truly capture what it's like to play actual tabletop D&D though, you know? Because actual D&D, like, you are not limited by anything. And video game, every video game has some form of a limitation in it.
I would love to see an option where all of these are changed back to tabletop D&D rules. Change the skill check to a DC 15,
Sweet.
roll my D20, and then show my +7 being added to that roll. Or while attacking instead of...
Actually going to need to move all this right here. Maui Gamer Girl, thanks that Twitch Prime resub. Happy National Coming Out Day. Is it National Coming Out Day? If so, what's up, y'all?
Or while attacking instead of...
Oh, I sometimes feel like I don't do a good enough job of making it clear that this is a LGBTQ plus friendly, safe place for people. Sometimes I feel like I don't do a good enough job for that. Uncool not answering the entire question? What was the entire question? You just asked me what my favorite tabletop was. Oh, and why? I didn't see the NY part. I'm sorry. Why Shadowrun? Because I actually do like sci-fi based stuff. And Shadowrun does a good combination of sci-fi, cyberpunk, hacking, and all that, but keeping it just enough fantasy stuff in there that's super cool. Like the combination of magic and tech I think is awesome. I like the concept of the world with corporations being Shadowrunners and a lot of times doing like the equivalent of heists. And then I like Battletech because I actually like it's grounded in reality sci-fantasy or just sci-fi. Like even though it's the future and you're flying around in space and stuff, like it's still like very you're not like having giant robots with like jetpacks and laser swords like they're Gundams or some shit. Like they are like walking tanks and they're slow moving. And it's all like a lot of political intrigue, very Game of Thronesy. And I think all that's cool. Need to find another skill check here.
That's
You
fine.
have higher
Best
insight,
one.
right?
Yeah.
That works.
player. I would love to see an option where all of these are changed back to tabletop D&D rules. Change the skill check to a DC 15, roll my d20, and then show my +7 being added to that roll. Or while attacking.
There's a few frames of the die not being there. I'm going to take that out just to make it look a little bit cleaner. And then I'll cut it.
Or while attacking, instead of percentages.
Jared, I'm behind, but as a gay, I always feel like your channel is safe for me. Oh, that's good. I'm glad. I try to be.
Or while attacking, instead of percentages, show me the modifiers. Show me what their armor class is, my attack bonuses through proficiency and ability scores, plus any other modifiers like flanking, cover, or darkness. It would help capture that tabletop feel, especially for players coming into Baldur's Gate 3 having only played actual D&D before. This would be a really...
Oh, thank you, Miss Maven. I really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out.
really cool option that player...
I don't know, guys. I don't know if I have enough Baldur's Gate 3 footage. I might need to go play some more Baldur's Gate 3.
I'm so hysterical.
This would be a really cool option that players could toggle back and forth between, or activate it for some roles but keep it off for others. It's more math heavy, yeah. Keep it off for other. This would be a really cool option that players could toggle back and forth between, or activate it for some roles but keep it off for others. It's more math heavy, yes, but I'm also a nerd.
No, I don't think I have I actually do legitimately need to get footage for this because I don't think I have any. For this little baby section here. I'm just going to throw in some placeholder.
Number 6, hide helm. However, I'm also a nerd who doesn't like to look stupid. I spent a lot of time on my guy. Please let me hide my helm. I look like an idiot. Number 7, equipment customization. Actually, let me cut.
I had a part early on when I was buying a lot of equipment and actually seeing my stuff. Oh, here we go. That works perfectly.
Sweet.
Click, let me see your warriors. There we go, perfect. You're a legend with the Twitch Prime, thank you. How long does it usually take me to make and finish a video? I mean, it depends on the video. This one I am creating intentionally to be very quick turnaround and easy to put together. Like, the, just the assembly editing is pretty simple here. Like, I don't need a lot of overly specific things to show. But I can show more generalized footage, and it makes it easier just to kind of say, finding things like, oh, this looks vaguely interesting, just kind of slap it in there. Whereas if I do something like any of my Final Fantasy videos, where I'm very, very specific and very, very deliberate with a lot of things I'm talking about, I need to find that exact footage. That could be a pain to find through with the assembly footage, and that makes it take way more time. What is going on with my cursor? Why isn't it showing my different tools? It just keeps showing my mouse. Why are you doing that? God damn it, Premiere. Hold on, let me reset this. Maybe it'll fix itself. I do the same thing all the time, Revonus. Style over stats, always. There we go. It's back and fixed.
Actually,
Oop. But now it's coming out the wrong speakers. One sec. There we go.
Actually, let me customize all of my equipment. Few things take away that feeling of individuality than
Sweet.
seeing another person directly next to you. That feeling of individuality than...
All right. Palace Patton, thanks for the Twitch Prime resub. You hate pre-stream ads? Well, if you subscribe to me through Twitch for only $5 a month, not only do you get a bunch of cool emotes and support me, you'll never see any ads again. Weak. They did have the ability to hide helmet in Divinity Original Sin 2. Yeah, I think they patched that in later? I might be wrong, though. But yes, they need to fix that. I don't think any dialogue happens down here that I can show. Unless I can show... Not here? No. As the game breaking a little bit, it happens. Damn it. Maybe that first clip would be a better option. One second, chat. I'll find a good one. Not there, though. Not there. Oliver Ivory, thanks for gifting us up to Demon Oxide. Yep, come on, computer, you can do it. This is where we murder all those grave robbers. That's not very good. This is more combat stuff. I have to try somewhere else. Laura Dream with 100 bits. Thanks for the late night biddies. I really appreciate it. Mouse clicking sounds are so good. Well, I'm editing, so Lord knows I'm gonna be doing lots of mouse clicking. Oh, here we go. Perfect.
Yeah. Awesome upon the squirrel lady.
I just clicked it in my thing and it.
See, look, we're both literally wearing the same thing.
Individuality, then seeing another person directly next. Individuality, then seeing another person directly next to you wearing the exact same thing. And neither one of you is going to change in time for homecoming dance. This
There we go. I don't use mechanical keyboards because I don't want super loud clicking, clacking the entire time I'm trying to record or play on stream. I actually try to avoid that intentionally because I want my keyboard to be quiet. So I've got like these soft, squishy boys. Jeff had this issue. His wizard was strikingly similar to the other wizard. Yeah. Yeah.
The simplest solution to this would be die.
Also has metallic gloves and metallic boots.
The simplest solution to this would be dyes. Dyeing to alter the color of armor would be awesome, especially if you could choose what parts of the armor get altered. Armor would be awesome, especially if you could choose what.
Yep. Easy, computer. Hang in there. You can do it. Soft squishy boys kill me. Now I've got a Razer Deathstalker. I don't know. This is actually one that was recommended by PewDiePie. He said this is the keyboard that I use because the keys are quiet, and they have been quiet. And it's been working great. It seems fine for me. Have you seen those RTX mic filters that make your sound like you exist in a void? I've heard about it. I haven't actually looked at it. I haven't set it up myself either, but some people like try to suggest that. I don't know. I have a problem with software processing for audio rather than just reliable hardware in compressor settings doing it for me.
If you could choose what parts of the armor.
RTX voice does remove a lot of the background noise. Can I set that up through OBS? Because if I could do that through OBS, I could like make sure you guys can't hear my space heater or stupid air conditioning unit going off all the time.
She was a normal person. She was just a normal person.
No, things were weird.
Especially if you could choose what parts of the armor get altered. A primary, secondary, and tertiary.
You install RTX voice, run your mic through it, then have OBS listen to the RTX voice channel. Oh, okay, so like a digital or virtual audio cable. Gotcha. The noise isn't really that big of a problem on stream. Well, that's weird because I swear to God, all people ever do is complaining about my audio issues and whatnot. Like the number of times I've had people be like, whenever Jared talks, there's bad background noise. I'm like, I know, man. I wish I could help. I can't.
Tertiary color option to tweak would be fantastic. A step beyond this would be to have different patterns, designs, and armor layouts. They could even be just a few presets that players could toggle between. Again, this would be so that the fighter's scale mail doesn't look exactly.
Oops. That clip was on for too long.
Secondary and tertiary color option to tweak would be fantastic. A step beyond.
Maybe I'll look into the Artex voice thing though. I don't know audio that well. Like I've tried to set up my compressor through OBS to sound as good as possible. I feel like I may have made it worse somehow. And I basically went back and like turned them all off. Because I'm like, this just sounds bad. And I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like an idiot.
A step beyond this would be to have different patterns, designs, and armor layouts. They could even be just a few presets that players could toggle between. Again.
Thanks, Stormbringer. Just want to say you're one of my favorite content creators. Hope that things are going well. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Here's my small way of saying thanks for all the entertainment you provided and give a little something back. Oh, you don't need to do that. Man, the fact that people are here watching at all means so much to me. That's like a trap. Maybe I shouldn't trap, but like a negative feedback loop that my brain falls down into quite a bit. Where when it comes to like social media and YouTube and Twitch and all that, it's there's that feeling of if your followers / numbers aren't growing, you're dying. And if you're dying, it means your end is inevitable. My numbers haven't been growing for, just over a year. And it's caused me a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, a lot of stress. And like, it drives me insane because I'm like always trying to thinking of ways of how I can not be dying. But
my bad. It's never just a room, Chris Perkins.
On the other hand, I also try to take a step back and remind myself of the things that I do have and the people who are here for me and be appreciative of them. So rather than be constantly trying to cast this wide net and get as many people in it to come into here and just have this big net of people, I could also just give like more proper attention to the small group, a smaller group that's already there and already I don't want to say loyal. That doesn't sound like a good thing to say, but dedicated, I suppose. We all feel that it's a negative echo chamber. It really is, Jesse. Yeah, it sucks. We all get caught in it. That's also like, I kind of made fun of it a little bit on Twitter just last night, where people do like the quote-unquote interaction farming tweets. It's like whatever tweets that they will kind of bait people into just liking and retweeting and quote tweeting and all as much as possible, just so they get those numbers. You know what I mean? Oh, what's up, Gerard? Dude, how are you? I've been thinking about you so hard, dude. I was actually like, oh, you know what? I miss Gerard. I'm gonna text him. And then I was like, wait, it's Indie Land. I'm gonna give him a break. I'll let him chill. Anyway, Dread buddy, miss ya.
That players could toggle between. Again, this would be so that the fighter's scale mail doesn't look exactly the same as the cleric's scale mail. This can extend to
I came in feeling the exact same way. Yeah, man, that's
helms, boots, gloves. Actually, let me hide boots and gloves in addition to the helms. Or
oh, but at the same time, Gerard, like maybe this is getting like a little too inside baseball, but like you're also someone that I look to quite a bit for. Like, I feel like you're the guy doing it right. It's like Gerard does such a good job at networking and like knowing so many people and being able to like have that support and support them back and forth. But it's also, yeah, but I also Gerard absolutely feels that what rat chase of what's new, what's popular, what's the new game coming out. All right, what can I nail out, get the SEO, get as many new eyes on this as much as possible. And it's like, damn, like that's rough. Like, what sucks is like, it's never enough. Unless you stop and consciously say to yourself, you know what? I'm good. Do you always feel like this still isn't high enough? It's like, I'm not back to 1 million subscribers right now. I'm not even at 900,000 anymore. That sucks. I gotta get that back up. Gotta get those numbers back up. So like, I feel like I'm like constantly after that chase, especially because right now, literally every single video I put out just makes me lose subscribers. It's almost like people are seeing my videos and be like, oh yeah, I forgot I resubscribed to him. Unsub. Rising tides raise all ships. Yeah, exactly. Like there's no reason for like so much animosity or this weird competitiveness. Like sometimes it feels competitive, you know? I've felt that before where it's like, oh my god, this other YouTuber is whatever. It's like their numbers are catching up to me. Fuck! Can't have that happen. On the one side, that's like good because then you like, you know, if you have like a friendly competition and you're like pushing each other to improve, that's a good thing. But it's also, there's also feelings like, oh my god, this random person just surpassed me and is doing better than me. And I'm like, it's over. Someone beat me. Why do I bother? Email 1,000 biddies. Thank you so much. I have a lot of respect for of you doing for what you do, because every time I think about recording a video for you, my friends, I feel become terrified of putting myself out there. Ah, man, that's very real too. And I felt a lot of that kind of stigma against myself, where it's like, I feel like there are times where I'm afraid to put a video out there because, especially for myself, it doesn't feel safe to put myself out there anymore. And that's just like a brain weasel
let me hide boots and gloves in addition to the helms. Or being able to
that I need to like fight against and realize, no, it's fine. People made fun of the way I look since I started YouTube. Like, that's not going to change. It's not going to be any more or any less vocal. It's going to be exactly the same. And I need to be able to fight against that somehow, to some degree.
Gloves and boots.
That's also kind of partially why when I and that's kind of partially the reason, like, with my Instagram, I've kind of chosen to present myself in a different way. Like, I wanted to do more, like, more fashionable posts or whatever, rather just being like, you're making dumb face. Because then people are like, oh, well, this guy's just such a clown, such a jokester. But it's like, you know, that's the perception that people have of me. It's like, I don't know, that's not who I am. So there's a lot more like, hey, you know, here's the nice clothes I like to get and wear. And this is my skincare routine, or I don't know, whatever. Chibi Acer, also the 100 bits. For a while, I've been watching YouTube videos in the evenings when I work out at home. Oh, that's cool, dude. Thank you. I listen to the Limited Resources podcast when I work out.
Or being able to take any weapon and change how it looks would be awesome. Every day.
If you guys don't mind me asking, do you guys think the effects you guys have been around forevermore? Is it more of a challenge for guys like Scott the Woz Not to Run who are more newer? I don't know, Stardust. I mean, Scott the Woz was someone who actually was making me feel bad about myself, and it's not his fault. Because he blew up. Like, he's so good at getting a video out every week. He's just doing his own thing. He's crushing it. Exploded out of nowhere, and everyone loves him. And everything he does just outperforms everything that I do, and that makes me doubt myself. But it's like, I'm not going to get mad at Scott for that, because he's just doing his own thing. He's doing great. That's awesome. Grand Almighty, thanks for the sub bomb. Don't mean to get all back in my day, but it used to be you make a video, people watch and support it because people do that, then your channel just continues to grow. Now it's just like a stock market. Yeah, it really is. It really is. And like, I think about that. It's like, damn, like, was the best era of YouTube already past? Like 2014 and 2016, it was like, damn, like that should have been like the best time to do YouTube, and I didn't do enough, and I regret that I didn't. Because now it's just so, man, I don't even know.
Every dagger looks the same.
But it's also just like, I don't want to not do YouTube anymore. Because like it can still be worth my while. Like that's why I'm putting this video out, because I got an extremely lucrative brand deal for it, and I wanna, and like that's super worth it. And I don't want to put all my eggs into one basket, you know. The new creators, their audience is fueling their content views. New subscribers showing up, support, and new content just fuels the shit out of up and comers. Yeah, it feels like the longer you're here, the longer it's harder to maintain. I mean, even look at people like Mark and Felix and all that, who, you know, dozens of millions of subscribers. When they put out a new video, they're generally like averaging 2 million views, which that's a lot of views. Like that's amazing. That's more than enough for anyone to sustain. But what's only 10% of your subscriber base, you know, that's still a bummer, you know? Didn't realize this is a brand deal. Yeah, that's why I'm up late editing this, because I have such a short time crunch on this.
Every longsword looks the same.
Where's the book with the eyes?
Josh is behind the gate.
How long does a project normally take me? I was talking about that a little bit earlier. It usually depends on the subject. This one I designed in such a way that's meant to be kind of a quick turnaround. Like I literally wrote the script for this last night and kind of forced myself to. Whereas something like a Final Fantasy video that's 30 minutes to 45 minutes long, that's going to take, that takes dozens of hours. Husband and I prefer YouTube because we don't have time really to sit around and watch a live stream. That's fair. That's very fair, Cynical Desire. And it's kind of one of the reasons I stopped uploading my VODs to my gameplay channel, because I didn't want to clog people's subscriber feeds. Yeah, the average YouTube user is subscribed to over 200 channels. That is fucked up. Like, that's an insane amount. I think I'm subscribed to, like, maybe 20? Let's look. All right, here's Jared's subscriptions. Ready? It says show 31 more plus another 6, so I'm subscribed to 37 people. That's it. And most of them are my friends. It's what? Limited Resources, Jesse Cox. Yeah, like look at these. And that's it. Like, that's what I'm subscribed to. But for whatever, but a lot of people are like, oh, I'm like subscribed to 200. I'm like, how? How are you subscribed to that many? Is this even appearing on camera? Not very well, huh? Sorry. There you go. It's a little better. I'm subscribed to about 45. Yeah, like I feel like 50 or under is like what you should be aiming for, you know? But I mean, like a lot of these, like there's channels in here that don't upload anymore. Youngtown, Satch. Like MTG Breakdown hasn't even done stuff in a while. PPG Gameplay. Like, these are all like older ones. Like, that's it. That's all I'm subscribed to. So like, when a new video comes out, I'm usually just like, oh yeah, like here's plenty of new stuff for me to see. And then you know, then I'm good. I think I only subscribed to 35. I can't imagine 200. Yeah. It's like people who are like, I listen to 4 different D&D podcasts a week. And I'm just like, how? All of those are always like 2 to 6 hours long each. What do you
Dagger
do?
looks the same. Every longsword looks the same. What if I could change the hilt or make the blade a different shape? I know there's a crafting system of sorts that's
They play games while listening? Well, then you're not really watching. And like, while I appreciate the view, a lot of things I make like can't really be listened to. They need to be watched. But also, like, if you're doing something else in multitasking, which makes sense. But it's also like, are you really paying attention and are you really like absorbing whatever it is you're listening to?
know there's a crafting system of sorts that's going to be put into the final build, adding the ability to cosmetically change the
Are subs as important as views anymore? Subs aren't even the most important thing anymore. I mean, views, really. It used to be like, because that for the longest time, that was like the most simple metric people could understand. It's like, how many followers do you have? The more you have, well, obviously, the better you are. And then you must be more worth it. And while views are still important, because people are going to watch another video that already has a bunch of views, because people are going to be like, oh, well, a lot of other people watch this. Therefore, I should also watch this. But now YouTube's all about watch time or retention. It's more like, how long are you keeping people on YouTube? That's the most important thing. The current climate is a creator uploads a new video. You, the user, need to watch all of the video until the end. Then you watch more videos. YouTube then judges the video you just uploaded as a content speaker for your audience, so then it starts to promote your content. Yeah, exactly that. And that's one I had to like change how I make my videos, because people can feel when the end of a YouTube video is coming. And if people feel the end coming, they click away. Like, they don't bother staying until the very end. They, if they, like, feel it kind of winding down or hitting, like, a conclusion or whatever, they're just like, all right, I'm good, and they leave. Like, not even, like, leaving during the credits during a movie. It's like leaving during the last 5 to 10 denouement conclusion of a movie. There's like, I'm out, I'm good. And it's like, are you, really? All right. And now, because the longest time used to be that, 10-minute videos. Mwah. 10-minute videos was like the sweet spot. Like, that's what people wanted. These days, it's like, you need to average 20-minute videos. The Tin Man, thanks for the resub. 1 year, I really appreciate it. Does rewatching videos help? Yeah, of course. Is that why I stopped the blank on a 10-bit? Yeah. That's exactly why. And because people weren't really getting it. Whenever I give the rating of completed or whatever, I smash the end card. I noticed that, Gerard. I was just watching your Avengers one, like, yesterday. And, like, I noticed that tweak in there, too. And I was like, smart. I've had to do the same thing.
Adding the ability to cosmetically change.
Does having YouTube Premium help? Generally, yes. Someone with YouTube Premium's view is usually worth more than just, like, a regular viewer with ads on. That blanket on 10-bit was always such quality. Well, thank you, Honey Menu. Sadly, a lot of people like didn't get it. They never understood the metaphor part of it, and just thought it was like, lol, funny joke, lol, so random, out of 10. And like a lot of people just kind of missed the fact that I was choosing like the metaphor out of 10 very, very carefully and explaining it. And in a way, I thought it made sense. Thanks for the resub. Videos between 20 to 30 minutes is perfect. I mean, actually, I do like to try to make my videos around the 20 to 30 minutes marks because I like the idea of like, hey, this is an episode. You know, like people are so used to that TV model. It's like, give me an episode. You know, let me sit down. I've got my dinner. I can put this on my phone, or I always kind of blows my mind whenever people like put me on their TV and watch me. Like that's crazy. Like that's like the most flattering thing to me is like, hey, you are worth being on my television and watch like with my family or out there or whatever. And putting and like doing that. So I always try to, if I can, give people like an episode. But I'm also trying to change my stuff up where I'm putting out quicker videos like this one and the Mario 35 video. Like I'm trying to experiment with like easier to make stuff, because if I can, again, I always would love to get to that. I would love to get to weekly videos, but between this and already streaming it, like I have to stream myself working just to get that done. And that's kind of why I've had to cut back on streaming. I'm only streaming 4 days a week now, just so I have a day off, which usually ends up me being a day working on YouTube videos.
The ability to cosmetically.
Like a nice thick 22-minute video. Yeah. You're watching me on the TV now? See, that's also crazy to me. Where it's like, be on my TV while I'm in the living room playing on my Switch or whatever. That's so cool. I'm just going to show a cutscene here because I don't know what else to do.
This is the demo.
Adding the ability to cosmetically change the equipment you already have is an enticing enough reason for anyone to want to use the crafting system.
No, that's not very interesting footage right there, now is it? Bad choice. Just wondering if I'd like an editor. Well, the thing is, I kind of already have someone who edits for me, and I like a lot, by the name of Vladlust. Does a great job. But it's also like, I'm not really in a position where I can afford an editor for anyone. Your Mega Mario completionist video made nothing? Are you freaking kidding me? Because I saw how well that video did. It's like, yeah, you just threw all of the Mario videos together, throw it up. Like, that's brilliant. Like, that was something that Shane was telling me too, Gerard, was just the 1 hour compilation stuff is like really good to do right now. And I was like, oh dang, I should start doing that for some of my gameplay channel stuff, or like the Final Fantasy videos or something. But it doesn't make any money. That's so weird. I mean, if it got new subs off of it though, that's really good. Oh, did he? I haven't gotten around to that. Usually Tuesdays are like my gameplay channel recording days. And after I'm done recording and making the thumbnails and uploading, I'm just like, I'm done.
I had a wood truck. He's
I'm just like, I'm so beat. Like, I don't want to do any more editing. Maybe that's what I'll have Vlad do next.
Adding the ability to cos.
Oh, this is kind of the same. Nah. Well, that shot with Shin looked good. Or Braden, I should say. Ah, it's the same conversation though. Frick. I wouldn't even ask for money. See, I don't want that either. Like, I would not feel right or good about getting an editor and not compensating them. Not gonna do that. Like, that would be taking advantage of someone, and that's not okay. Yeah, Gerard. Do you find the like 1 hour compilation videos like the sweet spot, or is it closer to 2 hours? Because I keep seeing people like anytime a new game comes out and Sean does like a 2 hours of the of like a new episode, like Last of Us 2 or something. I was like, really, 2 hours?
Adding the ability to cosmetically change the
That's like a
equipment
movie
you
a day.
already have is an enticing enough reason for anyone to want to use the crafting system. Adding the ability to cosmetically change the equipment you already have is an enticing enough reason for anyone to want to use the crafting system. System.
That camera bounces around a lot, but I'll worry about that later.
Number 8. Sort inventory. Good.
Speaking of inventory, where was I just looking at that? It's asking a lot for people to sit down and watch something. Yeah, like that's a lot to ask. Especially if it's 2 hours of anything. Alright, here's the inventory screen. People are saying there's a sort inventory button. Where? Is it that guy? I swear I clicked that. I went through all of these. Oh no, it was all these. I don't know. Why is this so separate? Stupid.
Good lord, let me sort my stuff. I've so much crap in here. An auto sort to divide them between equipment, consumables, potions, scrolls, junk, and gems would clean things up so much. I know.
Got a lot of Is
It's
there?
up so much. I know there's toggles up top to look through different categories, but when I'm in my full inventory bag, categories, but
Get rid of that breath.
categories, but when I'm in my
I feel like YouTube's banking on everyone falling asleep while on autoplay. I mean, yeah. How many times do I normally record a voiceover? I usually do about 2 to 3 takes per thing. Or give different deliveries. There's hundreds of creators who are experiencing the same shit we are, and we all are silently dealing with it because we all feel crazy and targeted for it. That's what the... Oh man, that's real. I mean, that's also why I feel like I need to get this Final Fantasy VIII video out, because now everyone's like, oh, Jared's the Final Fantasy guy. I used to be the Monster Hunter guy, remember that? And then all these Monster Hunter channels that, like, all they do is Monster Hunter came out. And I felt like, well, I don't need to cover Monster Hunter anymore. These guys got it. So now, because I've been going through every Final Fantasy game, I feel like everyone expects me to talk about Final Fantasy. Because I also talked about Square. I talk about Square a lot in general. So I feel like I need to talk about Square stuff anytime I can.
categories, but when I'm in my full inventory,
You used to be the 1 minute review guy. Yeah. And then can't do that anymore. I'm the D&D December guy as well. I don't know how much that's actually caught on. I think I checked my inventory after this battle. Yeah.
Does somebody want this lesser restoration necklace? Does somebody want this lesser restoration necklace then?
That works. My magic drops brought me here? Oh, that's cool, Idaho Wolf Club. That's super cool.
but when I'm in my full inventory bag, it's just a mess. Look at that. Full inventory bag. When I'm in my full inventory bag, it's just a mess. Look at this. This stresses me out. This is extended to the extra storage at the camp. Out. This.
People call me a Nintendo guy. I get called a Nintendo guy quite a bit, too. But I also think, yeah, that's so weird, because, like, yeah, obviously, like, Gerard, you cover everything. But I think people call us Nintendo guys because usually it's Nintendo who invited us out to do, like, extra stuff. Like, Sony and Xbox, like, just didn't. Like, the most I ever got was an Xbox sent me an Xbox One when I made fun of them for not having Rainbow Six Vegas 2 being backwards compatible. Then they made Rainbow Six Vegas 2 backwards compatible, and they said, "Hey, Pro Jared, you're welcome." And I was like, "What?" Legend of Lank randomized brought me here. That's cool. That's always really interesting, and like, Sony sent me Knack 2 at some point. No? I don't own Knack 2. Though I do have a copy of Knack, and I don't remember why. Is that Knack? No. No, Sony's never sent me games. I think it's always, if it was like, I've gotten like third-party publisher games for PlayStation 4. Like I got Monster Hunter World early. And stuff like that, but Sony themselves have never sent me anything. I think Knack was given to me at a convention. I might be wrong.
This is extended to the extra storage at me out. This is a
It's the part where I start looking through the storage boxes back in the camp. Here's another inventory. Nonsense. Nope, just go to bed. I check my inventory before. Nope. Balls. It's that Super Beard Bros playthrough of Knack that made you get it. That must have been it. Oh my god, I actually have a Super Beard Bros Stanley Tucci emote. Now shout out to the Super Beard Bros. Man, Gerard, that's another thing that like that's also that you do that I find inspiring, but also like I'm envious of, where you come up with like different show ideas and series to do on Beard Bros. It's not just like, let's play a game. Like the eShop series was amazing because first off, it brought you that freaking animal game, and like doing the game with the PlayStation Network store and all that, like that's such a good concept. Like just that's something I'm trying to come up with. Like how can I get more show ideas? And the best one I ever had was the XCOM interactive playthrough. That just doesn't work anymore because of, well, the way YouTube changed end slates. Animal Fight Club, that was it. Thank you. Top 10 RPGs not from Square has Legend of Legaia in the thumbnail, but not in the video. And that's like one of my favorite games. Well, Legend of Legaia was going to be an honorable mention, and I couldn't work it into the script. So instead, me giving it an honorable mention was just putting it into the thumbnail. Because I actually really like Legend of Legaia as well. I don't think it's like amazing RPG, because after you find all like the secret techniques and combos using the D-pad attacks, kind of loses a lot of its luster. But up until then, super cool. The devs of that weird Cruise Brothers MCU game we played on PSN came after you on social media and said you ruined their game sales for their 4-year-old game. Ruined it? Or enhanced it? Because there ain't no one's gonna know what that fucking game was beforehand.
This reminds you of Divinity? Well, it's made by the same people.
This is extended to the extra storage at the camp. If I send something to my box and want to find it later, having to...
I'm sure I've got footage of that. I might just need to... Might be another one I need to record and do on my own. I'm just gonna label that orange.
Having to scroll through the whole thing without really knowing exactly where it was dropped is frustrating and time-consuming. Right now, the camp storage functions the same as looting a random barrel or chest. Making it an extension of the inventory could help alleviate this. Look at my shelves. Do I look like a guy that would let... Do I look...
What a weird thing to say, like, you ruined the sales of our 4-year-old game. It's like, why? Because we got to let people see what it's actually like instead of just letting them buy it blind? God forbid we give people an informed choice.
Just throw a ball.
Alright, where are we at? We almost got the assembly footage done. It's pretty good. Gerard! Thanks, my dude. For that resub. Remember when collabs used to work for getting people new subscribers? Back in my day.
9. Spell level selector. The hotbars for abilities and items can quickly get to be...
No one does the collabs or series anymore. Yeah. Crossovers used to be the big thing. Thanks, that guy with the glasses.
Okay. Oh, fuck.
Everyone's afraid to ask each other to promote each other's videos. Yeah, there is. It's like a weird stigma, like, not to, but also, like, I don't know. People stopped wanting to show up in each other's videos. It's like we all, because, you know, like I always said, this used to be like the Wild West, and like everyone's out there on their own. But it feels like more and more, like we end up more and more on our own more often.
Okay, yeah.
Because this ward's gotta die.
Crit! An over-cluttered mess. This is made worse by anyone who uses spells. Much like 5th edition. One who uses spells. Much like 5th edition rules, several spells.
The Pocky and Rocky collab I did with PBG was great. Yeah, I got Pocky and Rocky too and told PBG, it's like, hey man, let's do it. Like, he's like, I'm down, and we just haven't been able to like do it at all. I think given everything that's happening with the whole cancel stuff, it made everyone stay in their own lanes now more than ever. Man, that's so real, Gerard. Like, it put me in a position where, and it's a feeling that I dislike so much, where I'm like, I'm on my own now more than ever. It's like, fuck everyone else. I'm doing my own thing. Just me, rely on me. Like, I gotta make it on my own. I can't rely on anyone else anymore. No one's gonna help me. Like, I have to do this. Even though, like, I know that's not true. That's not true. Like, there's no way. But, like, the struggle with, like, that feeling is, like, there and, like, feels pretty bad. That sounds so lonely? Kinda is. At times. Like, I feel like I've been trying to get people to, like, stream with me. It's like, hey, do you guys want to do an Among Us stream? Or, hey, do you guys want to stream Phasmophobia? And I feel like just getting people to want to commit to that is like pulling teeth sometimes.
5th edition rules, several spells can be cast at different levels. Like a level 1 magic missile firing 3 bolts of energy versus a level 2 magic missile which shoots 4 bolts. Having both level 1 and level 2 as a separate button on the hotbar is needless. Especially once players get to the point where they have like a different spell. Level 1 and level 2 as a separate button on the hotbar is needless. Especially once players get to the point where they have like a dozen different spells that can all...
I think I can have this go to about here.
Having both level 1 and level 2 as a... Having both level...
Which you're gonna... Whoops, wrong direction.
Level 1 and level 2 as a separate button on the hotbar is needless.
Too much. I need to... want to show that's like level whatever.
Level 1 and level 2 as a separate button on the hotbar is needless. Especially once players get to the point where they have like a dozen different spells that can all be cast at different levels. Instead,
If I could just shut off social media, I would. Dude, me too. Like, how many people, like, go onto Twitter, spend 20 minutes on it, and after they're done looking at Twitter, they say to themselves, I feel good and or better than I was feeling than before after doing that. But the thing is, because of our professions, we can't just delete Twitter. We can't. Like, all Twitter's... Like, the same people... All Twitter is there for is just promotion and selling something. Selling something. The same people who are like, I can't watch TV. The commercials annoy me so much. Spend 2 hours a day on Twitter just being advertised to and being sold something. And that's pretty much why I still have my Twitter, because I need to be able to tweet out, hey guys, new videos out. Hey guys, starting up a stream. Hey guys, check out the other things I'm doing. And there's also a lot of companies like, hey, we want to give you this brand deal. We need you to do this tweet for it, though. Otherwise, it's not going to work out. It's like, all right. Like, we have to be active in doing stuff on it, and it sucks. Like, it's not a place to go to get some kind of, like, I don't want to get... it's not healthy using Twitter to get empty reinforcement of what it is that you're doing. And, like, I've seen people and been around these people that can just... that, like... need... they need, like, Twitter to, like, sustain them and, like... give them those weird hits of dopamine, you know? If I could afford someone to pay again, it might be better to have a social media manager than an editor. I don't know. Having an editor would lighten my workload a bit less, and like I don't use social media that much anymore. I really use it much more for I see what my friends are doing. Like, because again, on Twitter, I'm only following like 50 people, not hundreds or thousands. A lot of people get their news from Twitter, though. Yeah, that's its own issue now, isn't it? In general.
Instead, when I click a spell that
I need to show more Strix gameplay. So you're obviously not going to do this forever. What do you want to do after Twitch or YouTube's behind you? I don't want to think about that, to be honest. That's too scary. I don't know. I don't know, for the longest time, like there's so many times where I felt like as I was doing YouTube stuff, I feel like I kept seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And then one thing or another just kind of makes that light get snuffed out.
Instead, when I click a spell that can be cast at a higher level, have a drop-down menu appear, letting me choose what level to cast it at. And if Larian Studios is feeling generous, a reminder of how many spell slots per level are remaining right there. Since I'm talking about clutter,
you have to literally pay to promote your own shit. I know. And that's a weird thing, because like for the longest time, it was followers is what all companies cared about. Like, hey, how many followers that you have? And if you have followers, then companies like, oh, they're worth working for. Let's get this celebrity in our D&D streams. Like, oh, let's make sure a copy of early access game gets to this person. I was like, let's send them a bunch of our men's hair product or whatever. But it's like the followers don't actually matter. It's the interactions. Like, I could have 170,000 Twitter followers, but if I tweet something and it only gets 30 likes, that's abysmal. Like, and so many companies don't understand that. And that's why they just hire all these, like, big-name celebrities just because they appeared on TV once and they got the verified check mark. They got hundreds of thousands of followers, but literally when they tweet, hey, I'm a big-time TV celebrity, check me out on this D&D stream, and it gets 170 likes out of their hundreds of thousands of followers, that's not great. But I'm also, like, there have been so many times where I'm also like, man, the next time I get, like, a major video out and I post it, maybe I should pay to promote it. You know? Like, maybe it is worth it.
since I'm talking about clutter, this isn't so much a feature or anything, but just something I wanted to point out. During combat, I have no less than less than 4 different indicators of how many hit points I currently have. It's cool, dude. I got it.
All right, that brings us on to our last section of the assembly edit. Hooray! How much more editing do I want to do tonight? Well, it's more like how much editing do I want to get done tonight so that tomorrow Jared doesn't have to do it. but also how much I want to let current Jared get some sleep. Oh, thank you so much, Mari Gamer Girl. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. You get it done, you'll feel better. The thing is, like, I won't be able to get this done tonight. I still have a lot of action stuff to work. But again, like I was talking about earlier in the stream, I can't get my fucking lavalier microphone to not sound like complete shit.
Weapon powers. I think one of the smartest changes to the combat system of Baldur's Gate 3 from D&D.
It's probably safe to assume Jared wouldn't have met Gerard without the social media headache. No. I mean, I met Gerard through other people. No, I take that back. I don't think there is a singular person that I met through social media and like became close friends with him or started hanging out. I always met people through other people or through being in the same work circles or same social circles or whatever. It was at no point it was ever like, hey, you said something funny on Twitter, I'll give you a follow. And they're like, cool, I'll follow you back. Oh, we're friends now. Never really did any of that. I didn't do that. Thanks, Null60. Yeah. Sierra loves paid and exposure. Thanks for the 100 bits. I can't tell if that's a Nate Wants to Battle reference or if you were just an artist. Could be both.
Powers. I think one of the smartest.
Alright, this is where I show the different weapon attacks here. Both? Alright, I'll take it. Gravemind with 100 bits, thank you.
Sweet.
Hoagie with Twitch Prime, thanks Hoagie. Oops. So I dash in. Do I show the different attacks here? Is that later? It might be later. I think this is it here. There we go. Mara2 Jade also resubbing. Thank you, Mara. What's up, Zara? Have I tried Wastelanders 3? I haven't yet, Hole Puncher. I was watching Lilia play it, though. And it looks cool. It seems like one I should play. I mean, that's someone that like I kind of met. That's kind of a good example. Like, I met Lilia not through social media, but because she raided me on Twitch one day. It's like, oh, thank you so much. I was like, who's this Lilia person? I'll check her out. And I was like, oh, that's what. She's into the exact same stuff that I'm in. We're both old. We play Daggerfall and like old RPGs.
I think one of the smartest changes to the combat system of Baldur's Gate 3 from D&D 5th edition.
And I was checking her
is
stuff
additional
out, and I was like,
attacks for
oh.
every weapon type. For example, daggers have a once per short rest slash that deals weapon damage plus an additional 1d4 bleed damage. Greatsword. An additional 1d4 bleed damage. Greatsword.
Nate and Jared are cool dudes. No, Nate's way cooler. I've met the guy. Can't confirm. I need to show some Brayden doing some cleave attacks. Where do I have him doing that? You run a local game store? Dude, I've thought about that. I was like, man, you know it'd be cool someday if I just ran a local game store. I wouldn't want to do retail video game again. I tried that once. Hated it. But I was like, well, what if I ran like a board game, tabletop card game store? I was like, oh, maybe that would be cool. But I was like, nah, that's still retail. Don't think I can do it. I've done plenty of retail in my life. Alright, I need to get to this Woad fight and try to find Braden doing a cleave attack against these mud methods. No video games, just tabletop? That's cool. That's what I would do. Mostly because I wanted an excuse to play more Magic. Magus TG1, thanks for that Twitch Prime. Been watching you for years. Hardly get to watch you live because of time zones. Yeah, freaking time zones. Thanks for being here, though. Oh, thank you, Sarah. That's really nice of you to say. Oh, real quick. Can I tell a story about this song? It's from Final Fantasy VI. Back when I was in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I was doing the improv club, we also had a second theater attached to it called Venture Theater, where we like to put on different scripted plays. We also do scripted stuff in addition to our improv stuff. And one of the things we came up with is what we called the one-act festival, where we allowed a bunch of people to create and write just short one-act plays. They last anywhere from 5 to 12, 15 minutes. And someone wrote a one-act about a guy who basically sees a dude just sitting there, lifeless, motionless on a stool. And he comes out, sees him, and then gets a brilliant idea and just one at a time runs off stage and comes out with a different prop or stage thing and sets it up around him to slowly go from nothing to creating a fully formed bar just to get this one guy who was sitting there to give him a drink. I was the guy who got to go out and get the props and come back on. So it was like, you know, I had to come out with like a little counter, put it down, I'd run off, come back, I'd give him a hat, I'd run off, come back, and then I'd like put myself down still, then I'd run off, come back, and I would give him like a fake mustache. And after a while, I would, as I cut more and more props out, I would sit down like there expectantly waiting for him to do something, and there'd be nothing. And I'd be like, and then I would run off. The director said, hey, there's no dialogue throughout this whole thing, by the way. Zero dialogue. And the director's just like, huh. I need like a nice piano-y like ragtime song to play during this. Has anyone like got anything? And I was just like, I got the perfect idea. I brought this song in on a CD and just told him to play it while we rehearsed. And he's like, yeah, that song's perfect. Let's just do that. I was like, okay. Not the opening night, but the second night after that. After we did it, we finished up the whole festival for the night. We're, doing our crew afterwards, just kind of hanging out. And the director comes up to me. He's like, hey, that piano song you had us played? I was like, yeah. And he just goes, that's from Final Fantasy. And I said, And that's the story of how I managed to sneak a Final Fantasy VI song into a stage production.
And great axes.
Working retail sucks. Working retail does suck. But, like, it's one of the... There's always a couple places that have, like, reliable employment, though. Retail and grocery stores. So, like, it does suck, but I'm glad that you're working. Do I miss being on stage? Yes and no, my sauce. Because for the longest time, whenever I wanted to be on stage, that was conventions. Like, whenever I did a panel and whatever, and I just had a crowd of people who were, like, already there, ready to listen to me and, like, attentively listening, that was my stage. That's when I got to come alive. And that's why for the longest time my convention panels were I literally had a 30-minute stand-up set ready to go. And that's what I would do. I would just do my panel. The first 30 minutes, I would do my entire stand-up routine. And then afterwards, I would do Q&A. Or I would always try to do something. I never liked doing just a Q&A panel. I always try to do something on top of it to give some kind of entertainment value. Especially if there's someone there who like doesn't know who I am. And they just wanted something to do, so they just wandered in. And I want to kind of reward them with something with that. So I don't miss being on stage and such, so like I don't really miss doing plays or musicals or all that. I do miss doing improv. I miss doing improv a lot. Not going to MagFest anymore was kind of a bummer because that was the time I got to go there and always do improv with the These Guys Are Sick crew. And that was like the best. I do miss doing that. Here we go. There's the cleave attack right here.
Same thing as my original.
Damage. Great swords and great axes have the ability to cleave and hit multiple enemies in front of them. I love this concept. This gives you
Did my school do theater competitions? They did. That's pretty good. I was involved in that pretty heavily too. I did do a weird one though, like the weird competitive one that I was doing. And keep in mind, this was like in 2002, 2003. So this is post 9/11, right? And I had to do a play where it's about this like mom it was about domestic terrorism. It's about a mom whose baby died. And she was angry for some reason. So it shows her like getting recruited to like detonating a bomb at a restaurant. I was a restaurant patron. And then like she changes her mind and tells everyone at the restaurant she has a bomb there. So everyone runs in fear. And then she just wraps the bomb up in a blanket, cradles it like a baby, humming as all the like all the lights fade out to black as the ticking clock like gets louder. It was weird. It was weird. We didn't win. Yeah, like now that's heavy stuff. Now imagine high schoolers trying to do it. Yeah, big yikes. Basically what I'm saying is didn't really do the competition stuff a whole lot.
This gives you even more combat options for every character.
A little bit more fighting up in here. Us versus the bugbears up top. Do I know anyone from that guy with the glasses? Not super directly. I've met quite a few of them. Like, I've met Doug at several cons. Not even Joe. I know Joe the best. Joe and I actually roomed together at E3 one year. And we walked around and helped each other do some coverage. There's a video from, I forget which year it was, but it was when he and I sat next to each other at the Microsoft event. And he had like a little vlog. Or maybe he just tweeted it, I forget what, but we were there together. I met, what's his name? I don't remember his real name. Comics guy. He talks about comic books. I met him at a Canadian convention once, along with like Juwario. Linkara, that's it, thank you. Yeah, but like I'm not like really super good friends with any of them. So like I've met several of them, but I wouldn't say I know any of them. Do I miss DCA? That's kind of a weird question to answer because if I said, I mean, the thing is, like, I don't know, like I still talk to all of them, and we're still playing. So, I guess I miss that it's like a show that people were watching, but I don't miss in the way like I'm not playing D&D anymore or anything like that because I'm still playing D&D.
This gives you even more combat options for every character and helps minimize the amount of times their turn is reduced down to just making a basic attack.
Can I get Todoran making a bow shot?
I know way more about the D&D lore. That's why it's more fun to play in the Divinity setting.
How about Spoonie? Oh yeah, I met Noah a couple times. He was at SGC. We hung out together. That was another weird time because he and I actually were talking on Skype quite a bit. Does Chris Birkin still DM for you? Yeah. Spoonie and I were talking on Skype quite a bit, and I was actually like starting up an all new like D&D campaign to play with my friends. I asked him if he wanted to join because I knew he was an experienced player, and he was like super into it. And I was also like actively talking to him when he kind of had his Twitter meltdown. If y'all remember that, that was a weird time.
I love this idea, and I think it should be leaned even more into. More weapon powers. The same mundane weapon having different attacks than the other. More options depending on the class who wields it. I think a good source of
But yeah, but at the same time, like, I don't know, that guy with the glasses isn't really a thing anymore. Let's see here.
Right now.
Oh, why don't I show the, we're fighting all the crypt people. Yeah, down in here, where you, like, blew him the fuck up.
Didn't work.
You missed.
Boom! They're all dead.
God.
They're all dead!
There we go. Oh, thanks, Irritable. I appreciate it.
Think a good source of ideas for something like this, and hear me out on it, is Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition.
Chaos Miles, thanks for the resub.
Seriously though, there's a lot
What time is it for me? It's after 11 p.m. I'm very tired. I've been tired. I actually had I took like a 2-hour nap or so before I started editing, and I feel like that made me feel worse. That's always the
of good concepts.
that sucks when that happens, you know? You're so tired, so you take a nap, and you just like feel worse.
I want him to fall off.
I've never been able to nap without it ruining the rest of the day. Yeah, same. And I like never nap. Count of Storm, do you ever plan on doing another D&D show? I've talked about this before, Count, but I don't want to do another D&D show unless I'm really bringing something new to the table. Like there are so many D&D shows out there. There's a billion Dungeons and Dragons podcasts. I feel like anyone who plays Dungeons and Dragons is basically trying to make it into a stream show or something because they want to be the next big Critical Role. No one's going to be the next big Critical Role. There were let me take that back. There were 3 major Dungeons and Dragons shows. The very first one, which was Acquisitions Incorporated. Critical Role, which was the most successful one by far. And then there was DCA. Like, if you look analytically, view-wise, the biggest shows were those 3. But now they're all just like a lot of these basic podcasts where there's playing over Zoom or whatever. Maybe they'll have like Roll20 up or a virtual table or something, but I don't know. That's not doing much for me. I don't want to do a D&D show unless I can up the production value in some way and go beyond what people are expecting. Because I would like I want like everyone at the same table. I would want a lot more integrated effects, basically. Because like I thought about doing like a BattleTech show, but again, like I would want the miniatures there at the table, overhead cams, a cam operator being able to swap between them, and being able to pull up basically like their mech sheets very quickly. and like showing like their damages and things left over, especially if you make it into like the MechWarrior RPG style. Like it'd be even cooler. Some parts of nerddom is too crowded. That's fair. That's a fair thing to say. Sounds expensive? It would be, yeah. And that's kind of the other thing. I was talking to Kate Welch. And this is shortly before she finally quit Wizards, which she was planning on doing for some time. Her and I kind of bounced around the idea of starting up a streaming production for tabletop stuff like that.
Seriously though, there's a lot of good concepts for additional weapon attacks found in 4th edition class powers. Give clubs or axes powers. Give
Oh, thanks, Lycon. I appreciate it. Yeah, their fight. I could show the red cap fight. That kind of works. Or the hag.
Nice. Nice. I can't reach the... Nice.
Give clubs or axes the equivalent of Reaping Strike, allowing them to do guaranteed damage even on a miss. Give them
I had a part... Now the part where I get the equipment underneath the waterfall actually showed an axe. I kind of want that footage. Which might have been in this one. Maybe. Yes. I'd go in underneath the... Perfect.
What do we got? A Great Axe +1.
of re- Give clubs or axes the equivalent of Reaping Strike, allowing them to do guaranteed damage even on a miss. Give them mace the extra attack of Crushing Blow, reducing a target's armor class for a turn. Dagger.
Hey, Holly. I'm doing okay. Thanks for checking in on me, though. I might just need more sleep. Show more of the harpy fight. I think I barely touched that.
Ah,
There. One down.
daggers could hamstring targets to reduce movement. There's a lot of possibilities here. Additionally, certain weapons should have different powers depending on whose hands they're in. A longbow used by a fighter hands they're in.
I can actually show the beginning section with Githyanki for that. Sleep is overrated. I already had coffee. I don't want to have too much coffee. Do I not have her shoot here? I thought I did. Nope. That's fine. We can just show it to Doran shooting.
Nice shot.
Yeah, it's pretty quick, but it can work.
A longbow used by a fighter is not the same as a longbow used by a ranger. An example idea, right now.
Let's go back to the red cap fight, because I think I got to Doran pinning one of them. Where was that? Red-headed Blackguard! Thank you so much for the resub. Became aware of you through your Daggerfall videos? Oh, that's super cool, Razar. Hope you're enjoying them. There's a big lag between you recording and uploading because we're kind of trying to save your game in the YouTube comments. Oh, yeah. I mean, I generally record like 4 episodes of those at a time. So, like, I have a week's worth of Daggerfall recorded kind of ahead of time. Yeah, I did see certain YouTube comments where I was like, oh, I don't think I remembered that, or I forgot. Well, have a good night, JoJo. Thanks for hanging out. But I'm also just like, you know, I'm kind of messing around in Daggerfall quite a bit, but Daggerfall's been super fun. Did I ever get that cart in Daggerfall? I think I saw one or checked at some point, but it was like way more expensive than I would have liked, so I ended up not.
Sweet.
Hey, what's up, Jeff? Good to see you, dude. How's the editing going? We're almost done with the assembly edit. I'm just talking about Baldur's Gate 3. Daggerfall is really a long session game. Yeah, it really is. Only doing 20 minutes at a time gets brutal. Do I still have the small dungeons mod turned on in Daggerfall? Yeah, I do. Yeah, Jeff, this video is 10 ideas or changes I'd like to see done to Baldur's Gate 3. Have I looked at MechWay or Destiny? Wasn't that all under like closed testing right now, Magus? I don't think they've actually shown anything for it, have they?
An example idea, right now all bows get.
That's right, I was trying to find the red cap fight. This wasn't a planned video idea, but I just got a super lucrative brand deal that I'm trying to get done in time for it. And the deadline is like, they wanted a rough draft tomorrow, so I guess I'll die. It's out now? What? Well, shit. How many videos do I record in a day? Sierra, when I do my gameplay recording days, which is on Tuesdays, I record all 7 gameplay videos in one day. Upload them, make the thumbnails, do all the descriptions and all that nonsense. All right there. It's long. Tuesdays are my long days. You can go to the full release on drive-thru. Dang it! Because I had a campaign going with the same people playing Baldur's Gate with. We had a BattleTech campaign going, but I was using Time of War rules, which aren't great, but it's been fun. I need to show the Ranger. Because he does a pinning shot to one of the red caps outside at some point. I need to show that. It might have been. That was a regular shot. I can see his initiative order. I can just like scrub until his turn comes up. Yeah, like right here. He goes for it.
Stay there.
Let's play it. Let's play the Baldur's Gate. No, let's play. No, this is actually a video just talking about things I want to see change or tweak to Baldur's Gate to make it a slightly better game. This is a scripted video.
Idea? Right now, all bows give pinning shot, reducing a target's movement by half on a successful hit, which is fine. But what if this same bow was given to a ranger and they could... Which is fine. But what if this...
Is it worth picking up now? Well, that's same thing I tell everyone else. How much do you like tactical RPGs and how much did you like Divinity Original Sin? If either one of those is a lot, then yes.
They positioned themselves so I can't push them off now.
I love that when playing multiplayer, you can take your turns at the same time if you're next to each other in initiative. It's the coolest fucking thing. Like, I love that. Octokaiser gifting a sub to Paladin Luck. Thank you so much. It's very nice of you. Have a good night, Electrokilly. Thanks for hanging out. Come on, computer. Preview. Oh, that's the end of combat. Did I just miss him doing a shot altogether? Wait, hold on. What was this clip? No, this is back in the Hag Den. Well, maybe if I show... Back in this underground. Actually, if I have that footage, being able to show... Maybe I do. I just want to show the ranger ranging some more. That's all back to the Blighted Village. We like avoided all these fights. I haven't showed the Bugbear fight, or Bugbear, Owlbear fight at all yet.
Fine, but what if the same bow...
Have we tried talking to it? Yeah, we did. The ranger used speak with animals and spoke to the owlbear.
What if the same bow was given to a ranger, and they can use... But what if the same bow was given to a ranger, and they can use Twin Strike, allowing them to take an arrow shot at 2 different targets within 3 meters of each other? Plus, allowing them to take an arrow...
Let's show a more... I think the goblin fight at the gate is probably just the best example of this. Oh, this is the aftermath. Ooh, actually, I don't know if I got great footage of that. That's the town. Let's show the goblin fight. Where is it? Oh, there's the cutscene. There we go. That's because I know we get the ranger to go up on top of the rock when you start shooting. We need to get him doing that. After I backstab the shit out of that warg. Dude, one of my playthroughs during this battle, Will, like the important story NPC that joins your party, just straight up fucking died. That was a bummer. I think same plan here is try to find Tadoran the Ranger in the initiative order. There we go. Is he able to shoot anyone from here? That's the crab dash. No, he's not. Damn it. Oh, perfect.
No, you're gonna see the people behind him.
What happened?
How long does it usually take me to record vocals? It always depends on the script. This script was... How many words was this? Word count. This was 6 pages at 2,500 words. This is about 18 minutes worth of voiceover, edited down to about 12 minutes, give or take.
Take an arrow shot at 2 different targets within 3 meters of each other. Plus, let's face it, archery meters of each other. Plus,
Almost there. I think I might just try to show a cutscene of Tadoran rather than showing combat. Just kind of emphasize it. Welt! Thanks for the bits! Can't wait to see the polymorph spell in BD3. Oh, I'm sure they will. It's too iconic for them not to have it. And they already had a polymorph equivalent in Divinity, so they already have an idea of how to do it.
it's within 3 meters of each other. Plus, let's face it, archery-focused rangers could use a little boost in general. I'm thinking ahead here.
Hydrate? I forgot my water. I can't hydrate right now. It's alright, I've only got a little bit of assembly left to do.
I'm thinking ahead here.
Pupper, 10 out of 10 best game. If you talk to Speak with Animals, you can talk to him. You learn his name is Scratch, and then you can convince him to come back to your camp. And then play ball with him. And you gotta do a strength check just to just to get his ball out of his mouth so you can keep playing with him. Which is really funny. Angel of Venus, thanks for the resub. Hi, Mr. House.
I know the other core.
I don't want that. No take! Only throw! Exactly.
I'm thinking ahead here. I know the other core classes are coming. A wizard wielding a staff is different than a monk wielding a quarterstaff. A warlock with a longsword.
Hi, Kozangetsu. Welcome out to the stream.
Ready, Haley?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Quarterstaff. A warlock with a longsword is different than a rogue with a longsword. A barbarian with a warhammer is different than one used by a cleric. The extra power.
This is not good footage. We're just kind of standing around doing nothing. That's not very interesting to see. Actually, maybe while I do swing the camera around, we all kind of get into a ready stance.
Coming down.
Like, that's a little cooler. Yeah, there we go. That helps.
A warlock with a longsword is different than a rogue with a longsword. A barbarian with a warhammer is different than one used by a cleric. The extra powers can reflect this. If it reflect this. If it is
Here we are.
If it isn't different depending on the class that's holding the weapon, then it should just be.
Yep. The one trying to sit down.
Alpha State.
She's possessed.
She's possessed?
Just kick it. She's dancing.
Equipment-based classes. Not so much equipment-based classes, but more like
Does it hurt all of us?
because every weapon has like a secondary attack, and I think they can
No, I'm
come
being
up with
positive
more
about that.
secondary attacks that are either different depending on like literally the weapon. Like it just could be like a normal longsword, but the different longsword can have different secondary attacks, or a longsword has different secondary attacks depending on what class is using it.
If it isn't different depending on the class that's holding the weapon, then it should just be randomized in the weapon itself. This can make.
And I need to show us getting some fat loot, which we can use down in the crypts for that. As we just go looting around. Oh, maybe versus the undead scribes fight? Or after I murder the shit out of this guy and take his stuff. Yeah.
make finding even standard mundane weapons a little more exciting if it has a different attack power to use. I would have a reason to choose one short sword over another. This would help the random loot feel less repetitive and lackluster in a battle system that already uses a lot of position.
This keep in mind, this actually takes too long. Let's just start it right there.
This can make finding even standard mundane weapons a little more exciting if it has a different attack power to use. I would have a reason to choose one short sword over another. This would help the random loot feel less repetitive and lackluster in a battle system.
Which channel is this for? My main one, Pro Jared.
I feel like their fucking probabilities are all fucked.
In a battle system that already uses
Is the end game in the alpha? No, it's only the first
a
chapter.
lot of positioning, shifting, and extra effects on top of standard 5th edition D&D rules. More
A Baldur's Gate Nuzlocke would be cool. I thought about doing like a permadeath run. Like if ally dies or whatever, you just kind of like shrug, they're dead. Or I don't know how else to do that. Because like if either the player dies, it's kind of over. Shen Soren, thanks for the resub. Never repair gear. This doesn't have a repair system in place right now. Maybe in the final build though. But also like these games are hard, dude. Oh, actually maybe for the positioning here I can show Strix doing her Misty Step away. That's kind of a cool idea. I mean, the Misty Step goes to somewhere worthless, but, like, it's cool.
More weapon powers fit right in.
Hold on.
Shifting and extra effects on top of standard 5th edition D&D rules. More weapon powers fit right in.
There. Alright, that is the assembly edit with a couple of extra pieces of footage I need to go back and re-record, basically. Wherever it's orange is just stuff I need to go back and get.
Is Star Wars The Old Republic MMO. It uses
Yeah, like showing that there. This is the helmet here. What was this again?
without really knowing exactly where it was dropped is frustrating and time consuming.
Right, using the chest back at the camp. Alright. I think that's as much as I reasonably want to do tonight. That's a pretty good amount. How the fuck am I gonna get this done tomorrow, though? Tomorrow's stream, which is supposed to be MTG Monday, may not happen until late at night after I get this done. Is there a time deadline tomorrow? They said tomorrow, so I'm gonna like send it over as late as possible. Yeah. I did do a lot when we got the assembly footage all put together. It only took like, what, 4 hours? Cool. Well, all right. Yeah, I mean, I'll get it done. I'll get there. It's just gonna be a rough week for ya boy. Be nice to me. It's hard. Alright, that's it for me, chat. Thanks so much for hanging out with me while I worked. I hope it wasn't too horribly boring for y'all. Thanks for everyone who came and hung out, though. Thanks for all the... everyone in chat, everyone who lurked, or even all the new follows. I really appreciate that, too. Thank you, guys. Like I said, next stream will be, if it's tomorrow, it's going to be like a late one tomorrow. We'll have to see. But, yeah, alright. I'm going to get some rest. Thank you guys for hanging out. Have yourselves a good night. Hopefully see you tomorrow. If not, see you when I see you. Let's go with that. Alright, have a good night, everyone.